So my name is Ibrahim Mahama, a Ghanaian artist, and I mostly work with objects that's deeply rooted within a certain kind of historical memory. And I create these large site-specific installations and also like different forms across the city and also the world.
No matter how young or no matter how small that we think we are, that when we are interested in something and through research and negotiations, we can always make it happen.
You don't mention memory, and I'm very interested in how memory forms a part of this work.
Yeah, I think that the memory is somehow already embodied within the objects in themselves. People always wondered, why are you collecting this old sack? What are you going to use it for? But the antagonism I felt was really necessary. The lack of understanding, also the improvisation and all that, it somehow shaped my collective understanding, even of how I was approaching my own work. Because in the beginning, you think that, I'm an artist and this is what I really want to do. But if you're working within a specific context, you realize that the realities and also the engagement within those spaces somehow reshape your notion about the same thing you're doing. And they themselves, even if they do not understand, I think that the engagement in itself and also how they bring their own personal narratives into it is already good enough.
Particularly also with the issue of the memory aspect of the work, which I thought was really fantastic because it's something that sometimes I rarely talk about it because I somehow feel it's already deeply rooted within the objects and then the things I'm talking about. But somehow I think it was important that she noticed that and she brought it so I could expand further upon it.
But I always wanted to make work that was very difficult, that people would see and they would get annoyed. They'll be like, but what nonsense is this? Yeah, and I thought that was important because we need to engage our society in things that they somehow do not already understand.
It's actually very interesting, like bringing a group of practitioners together, because what it does is that there are discussions that are had, and also it creates a certain kind of precedent for younger artists and also the artists or the art scene to somehow learn about the current time and things that are happening. And particularly given the context of the specific artists that were invited to this, I think that they have a wealth of knowledge and experience. So it somehow goes a very long way to shape the ideas of people within the art scene. So it really makes a huge difference. And we need actually more of it to happen.
Just hearing you speak, there is also a sense that you are non-compromising.
At all.
Has this caused any tension in the past with people you've worked with or any kind of controversies in the past?
I think it does always, yeah.
I guess it's mostly about the research aspect of the work and also just the integrity of like being an artist and also creating a practice. Because I think most of the time people have this kind of romantic idea of being an artist and then waiting for a collector or someone to come and discover them. But I think it's that age has somehow passed for me. I think that artists generally need to take their work seriously, because if you say you're an artist who is interested in doing installations and you're living in Lagos and with all the spaces that exist, you're just waiting for an exhibition to happen, I don't know, I wouldn't take you serious. I think the artists need to be a lot more proactive and also to realize that the idea of space is somehow already deeply rooted within their practice in themselves. So those things should go hand in hand.
But for me, it's not a problem because I'm not really looking for validation. I'm just an artist. You can see I spend a lot of time doing research and doing my independent practice. So for me, that is good enough. Of course, I've been very fortunate over the years to show in Venice, in Documenta, to do very important exhibitions. But I think it's also only because I've always been very much specific about the things that I want to do. So if you're thinking of me as an artist, you're thinking of me as an artist who knows specifically what he wants to do and somehow contributes towards the shaping of the exhibition and not just coming in to fill in a blank space.